hopped in the phone and pushed the top back. I've been hustling for a long time and I can't stop that. Big like I'm that, best believe it, and them all back. Yeah, I be ballin' all the time. I'm point guard and a quarterback.
All right, guys, welcome to another sports and culture interview. We have a abundance of people coming on today, as these are one of our final one-on-one interviews from the HBCU tour here with Hoop It Up. I'm your host, Tyler Butler from Sports and Culture Sports Media. I'm going to introduce everybody here shortly. As always, any one of our one-on-one interviews is brought to you by the Carolina Law Group. Make sure you get your free consultation today by visiting www.thecarolinalawgroup.com. Guys, hey, work with me here. My voice is trying to come back from getting over the flu and to me, COVID. So I'm trying to make it do what it do today. But I have a lot of people on that's going to help me, so I won't have to speak as much. I would like to bring in, of course, my co-host, my man, CC Ivory. CC, what's going on, my man? Oh no, I lost him. Might have to shoot him a text, tell him to jump back on. Don't know what happened there, but of course, CC runs the Hoop It Up, which is one of the HBCU tours. One of the schools that we just left was actually Clafton. And Mr. Thomas, I would like to bring you on while we're waiting on CC to hop back on relatively. How was that experience for Hoop It Up at your school, which you were the school that we just recently left?
It was great. Great experience. Kids loved it. They had a great time. Your staff was fantastic. So we're looking forward to coming back in March and Claflin taking home the gold medal.
Absolutely. And did you get any feedback from the kids itself, from being even involved or on the sideline watching Hoop It Up?
Oh no, they had a blast. You know, hopefully we can do it more often, and that's something that they just enjoyed it. Just being able to come in, watch their favorite guys, favorite teams come in and play. It was awesome.
Absolutely. And I know that's definitely experience that we're trying to bring to every single school here in the South Carolina area. And there's CC. Let me add him back on. There we go, my man. And CC, we were just recapping the Claflin trip. What was it like for you, man, being in another HBCU campus and dealing with those kids down there at Claflin?
Oh man, Claflin man was super exciting, man. I think out of the four that we've had an opportunity to be on, the campuses we've had an opportunity to be on, I was telling Mr. Thomas this, man. Those kids were by far the most exciting, as far as the enthusiasm, as far as the student participation. They were phenomenal, man. I shared a few clips with you as far as videos. The teams were super competitive. We actually had I think some of the women's basketball team come over and watch some of the games after they practice. And then again, like I said, the hospitality, man, was phenomenal. From the staff, from Mr. Thomas, from the students, everybody, treated us with open arms, man. And it was just a basketball tournament, man, at its best. I mean, like I said, the athletes are phenomenal, man. I think the people that when they get a chance to see the talent collectively from the intramural side of the 3x3 HBCU 3x3 challenge, they're gonna be surprised. It's gonna be a shocker with some of the talent that you saw, that you get a chance to see. And the kids down at Claflin, man, they got a score, bro. He's a secret weapon where he can put the ball in the bucket, brother. I promise you.
Absolutely. And also, we have two other gentlemen on as well who just joined us. Want to introduce Anthony, who's going to be representing South Carolina State right now. That's the school that we're going to be coming to this weekend. And we also have the AD on the line, Dr. Arthur, as well. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, my pleasure. We were just recapping, of course, with Thomas and CC that how Hoop It Up was on the campus of Claflin, which was the school that we just left. What is it like having something like Hoop It Up to be on your campus to get that HBU experience, but also give your kids, the kids of your school, an opportunity to hoop it up in intramural play?
No, absolutely. It's phenomenal. So as the dean of students, I've been able to. I get in the gym pretty often with the guys that were in the tournament and play pickup and know that we have the talent. And a lot of them, played on their high school teams and still need an outlet to be able to display their talents, but also as a former player myself, the lessons that you learn playing basketball in a team environment, no one can replace those. And so, definitely, I'm excited and was excited about that. The tournament coming to our campus, like you said, we got some shooters, and so we're excited for our team to represent Claflin, and we're definitely going to bring home the gold medal. I know we have somebody on the call from across the fence, but everything is just a little bit better on the hilltop high.
I love it. Anthony, man, you got to hop right in. You represent South Carolina State. You have two people from Clafton over here.
Oh, and it's Anthony. Oh man, please, y'all can go ahead and just please.
First of all, Claflin already know what it is against State. So, I'm sure they really didn't want us even in this. So that cancels out their opportunity to win.
You all might
But
want to make sure that they have a regulation size court and that the court is actually, fitting. Because the last time we played them over there, the rims were crooked and leaning, and it was a lot.
Anthony, you can't go down like this, man.
listen, they know what it is. I promise you. Listen, I love playing Claflin because the gym be crazy, seriously. And oh my gosh. But they crowd is hype. I give them that. But our crowd is ridiculous. So if you had a good time at Claflin, I'm sure you're gonna definitely have a wonderful time at State.
So I want to ask, like, what are you doing so far to help bring everybody out this upcoming Sunday, man? Because we want to pack gym. We want to end this tournament off right.
Okay, so I know mostly all the students. As you can see here, this is intramural football. Can you see it?
No, I think it just cut out.
It cut out on him.
Yeah, I think he did.
So
Basketball.
I think he was saying is, oh yeah, okay. That's intramural football there.
Yeah.
And it's back.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's nothing compared to
Wow.
basketball
Wow.
than the real basketball games. Yeah, seriously. But we, I know them, so word of mouth, like all of these students out here, so I've been telling them about it. We actually had posted a lot of things on the social media sites and everything. So a lot of people have been asking about it, and they're excited.
Awesome, man. CC, and when you hear something like this and looking at the turnout right now in intramural football, like, what is the excitement feeling for Hoop It Up HBCU in this final stop?
Honestly, man, it's just a combination of being able to figure out how to make this work. Every week after we get together and we get on the campuses, I recap everything with the guys out of New York, the guys out of California, the guys out of Colorado, on just what the atmosphere is like at these institutions. And I've had nothing but phenomenal things to say, but I'm more excited about where it's going, because I know that there's so much more that can come from the HBCU challenge, not just from the athletic side. As I told you before, it was never about the athletic side for me. It was just the way of me being able to have a part in helping bring exposure to our HBCUs. That just happened to be the vehicle that God chose me for. So I'm just thankful, man, that these guys, AD Johnson, they gave me the opportunity. They heard me, and they trusted what I was saying. And I hope that I've done, all the institutions proud, as well as hoop it up. The future is bright, man. I think I told you about a week ago or 2 weeks ago that I was in conversation with fellow HBCUs up in North Carolina. So my thing is to have us competing within stateside, North Carolina and Georgia, within the next 24 months. But like I said, once we finish up at state, man, we're going to jump right into planning, finishing out the planning for the Hoop It Up 3x3 HBCU championships in March, which I'm hoping that we got some deep surprises, which I'm going to share with you guys after we leave South Carolina State, and hoping you guys will come back on and join us as we unveil, the entire layout with the championships, because we got some really nice things planned, not only for the students, but for the alumni, for the ADs, for the staff. We want to make it something that has some longevity in our state.
Absolutely. And Anthony, I wanted to go back to you because loving the vibe that you got down there at Inter, especially for football. SC State just coming off of that championship run. What was the vibe like right after that championship? Like as soon as the clock struck 0, what was it like on campus?
Man, it was wild. Man, the students they was really excited to get to this year. They was already talking about next year, going back. Man, it was really crazy, man. It really kind of I always feel like it's different nowadays, from when I was here, because I was here. I graduated in 08, and that's when it was really live at state, and it was reminding me of those days.
Gotcha. And Thomas, I want to go to you. It's kind of like a general question, and I'm gonna go back to you, Anthony, as well, and CC, you can jump in. I know we're seeing a lot of exposure from of course, the bigger schools, like the Grambling, the Jackson State, Howard, but positive exposure for the HBCU circle. Like, what do you think it will take before we can get schools like South Carolina State, like Claflin, a lot of our local schools here to get somewhat of that notoriety level of HBCUs with other students outside of South Carolina? Thomas, I go with you first on that.
Man, it's just going to, to me, I think it's just letting them know that we exist. To tell you the truth, this is my first HBCU experience when I came to Claflin. I know people at Jackson State, Grambling, Southern. I've been knowing those directors for years before someone retired. So I didn't know much about how HBCU worked except through word of mouth and, and their experiences of what they shared with me. So to ask Tim the question again, I know I kind of.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Kind of, what is it going to take for us, South Carolina, all our HBCUs that we have here, to get kind of on the national level as those larger HBCUs?
It's just one step at a time. Kind of like, what Dion is doing at Jackson right now. He's hyping it up. He's out there on Twitter. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. And that's where the kids are. Mm-hmm. So for people to realize, to know who we are, that's kind of where we're going to have to start moving more towards, is Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So we can start moving up there. But what's really going to help us is entering into those NERSA national championships and actually putting teams together into those tournaments and getting recognized. Because I would say if it's a Claflin or a State or Clayton College, one of us was to go to nationals for NERSA and win it, that'll put HBU on the map real quick, fast, and easy. But I don't think we've ever had an HBCU school that I know of that's ever even made it to the championships in a national tournament for NERSA. You know, and I know me and Anthony has been in talks, and as far as starting a 5-on-5 tournament, you know, and maybe bringing it to one of our schools and starting and doing a round robin sort of thing, so we can start first getting to know each other and making sure we all got each other's backs. Because if we can make sure that we got each other's back and that we can help each other, then we can help each other elevate up. You know, if I know Anthony got a great team, I'm going to help elevate him to help his team win that national championship if we can do that. But if we can stick together and work together, then we'll start getting that recognition and respect. Because right now, I don't think we have that respect.
Gotcha. Anthony, I'm gonna swing your way. Just to piggyback off of that, what do you think there's more that a lot of our schools down here in South Carolina can do to receive a little bit more notoriety, whether it's from the media, parents, or just students on the outside?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you because it's going in and out.
Oh, that's okay. I was just piggybacking off of what Thomas was saying. What do you think that we can do more as schools here in South Carolina to get more attention from the outside media or outside viewers?
Well, he basically touched it up where what we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because I did not, any of the HBCUs around the state. I knew a little, and I didn't even really know much about what Clashman was doing either. And it's just a fence, that separates us. So I do feel like, if we can do something together, all of us do something together and compete against one another, because I haven't.
Went out again.
Go
ahead.
I knew it was. I did know it was a tournament out there, but I never knew how to go about signing up or anything like that. What was the name of it or anything? So I do want to try to bring the HBCUs together to, have our own tournament to see what we can do, to get it out there, get the exposure. Because I don't think we're doing anything when it comes to the different schools competing.
Gotcha.
And I think,
go ahead.
I think also it's something that would help, and I wish I would have thought about it, but I wish I would have done it when we had our 3-on-3 tournament, is going live, Facebook Live, like with our esports that we get on Twitch, and that's huge. And that's how we get our showcase with esports. And that way parents can be able to watch, like, for example, when we go down there in March, even if it's not all the games, if it's just a championship game, live streaming that so the parents and the schools back at home can watch it. Because when we did it with Twitch, we've always had a guy who just graduated, who's now a professional esports Madden, making 50,000 plus just to play Madden. Wow. But whenever he went to these championships, we brought the school body in, we put it on the big screen, and we sat there and watched him play live. And I think doing something like that is going to help, get more schools involved, get us recognized, because now they're sharing that information with their family, with their friends. And I think last spring when we had the national championships, they said 15.3 million people watch the finals. on Twitch. So if we're
Mhm.
doing something like that, we're going to start to get noticed a lot more, because everybody
Yeah.
is on Twitter,
Yeah.
everybody's on Twitch, everybody's on these platforms, and everybody want to be on TV.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And CC, with the 3-on-3 tournament that you're bringing, that's a level of notoriety that a lot of schools, especially here, are receiving that they wouldn't receiving before. What are your thoughts on more of what we can do for our schools here in the Carolina area?
Well, again, I've said from the beginning, it's resources. Resources and relationships. Um, One of the things that I set out that I wanted to do with this is provide that exposure for the 8 HBCUs in our state. Whether that's through, like I said, through partnerships, but what I definitely know that we're going to do is streamline the championships. We wanted to stream all of the challenges. However, we just couldn't get the connection to make all of it happen with the schedule changing as much as it did. But we do know that for the 2 days that we're going to be on the challenge, we've been looking at a couple of different hosts of hosting that streamline. But I think it's more or less of, like both of the guys said, um, us being individuals and being able to do what we're doing now, have a conversation about what each institution needs, and then come back and say, okay, what's the solution? How can we all help one another? I'm learning out information as Thomas was speaking about the intramural national championships and all of these things of that magnitude. I had no idea um, that was something that the HBCUs may have been interested in, because sometimes you may think it's just something that's on campus, not understanding that these kids have other aspirations and bigger aspirations and would love to be able to compete at that level. But they don't have the resources, the relationships, and then both of those equaling up to the exposure. So I think it's like I said before in the conversation. I think me and you had the conversation, Tyler. I know with AD Johnson, just about timing. The HBCUs are doing well right now in the different conferences because they have a representative to represent that institution. You got JR up at A&T. You got Dion down at Jackson State. You got Eddie George and all those guys at TCU. You got Kenny Anderson up at Fisk. You got a name. You have a recognizable name, or a former NBA or collegiate player that's back in those institutions. For us, we need those names to come back home. We need those names to come back and sign not just a check, but just validating the schools in our state, saying, "Hey, this is what I support." And I can say from the HBCU side, from the 3x3 side, and hoop it up. I think that's what Kevin is allowing his brand to do. Not in the physical, but of course in the business concept. But I think the future is bright for all of the HBCUs. I know it definitely on my end, as far as having a relationship with these gentlemen and the institutions. I'm going to continue to push the envelope. Each and every year, I'm going to push the envelope in order for it to get bigger and better. I'm constantly in contact with different organizations, corporations, trying to find resources and dollars to pour back into these institutions, man, because I know how valuable they are. That's why we talked about the internship, working with different organizations and corporations to getting on these campuses, to giving these kids an opportunity, not just an opportunity, but a direct opportunity to what their career path would look like. So many times in our communities, we go to school for one thing, but then we end up working in a whole nother field outside of what our degree is in. And then, we've accumulated $90,000 or $100,000 student loan debt in a field that we didn't even, graduate in. So, we sometimes we work backwards. And that's not to say that it's anybody's fault. That's just the way that we've been we've been told, we've been taught. And I think now is, it's a great opportunity for the South Carolina HBCUs to really represent themselves. I mean, look at Benedict right now. I think they're eighth in the country, 8-0, 9-0, somewhere around in there. That should be applauded. That right there in itself, it's just something that the entire state should get around. But it bothers me when I get on HBCU Connect, or I was just talking to gentleman Kyle over at HBCU Legends the other day, talking to him about the challenge. I'm always putting a bug in the people's ear of Claflin State, Benedict, Clinton, Allen, and it's just me putting those little nuggets, and then I'll send them, the magazine covers that we do, Tyler. After each tournament, I'll send it to those guys and say, hey man, look, this is what we got going on here in South Carolina. But slowly but surely, we're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them, and we're gonna make some noise.
Absolutely. So, wanted to kind of have a little fun with the schools, and I'm gonna start with you, Anthony, and then we're gonna go to Thomas. So, let's say I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a chance to pitch a school to an outside of recruit. Let's say I'm a recruit. I'm coming to South Carolina State. Sell me on South Carolina State. Why should I come to your school? Can you hear me, Anthony?
I don't think Ant can hear you.
No.
There you go.
What you said? Say that
Okay.
one time.
Yeah. So we was gonna have a little bit of fun here. I'm gonna be a recruit. I want you to sell South Carolina State to me. Why should I attend South Carolina State?
Well, first of all, because we're South Carolina State. Like, we, I honestly, I don't think, and this is my personal opinion, I don't think no one not in the HBCUs in the state is going to be able to keep up with the guys that we have. Seriously. We the crowd, it's everything. It's the environment. The crowd is ridiculous. They really into seeing and watching their colleagues play. Like we're real supportive, very supportive. And like I said, the talent that we have, I'm telling you, you're in for a show. I promise you.
So I've seen some talent, man, on a couple of these campuses, and I think you was telling me, I think it was you telling me, Ant, that the kid that's at Benedict, he's a transfer from South Carolina State. Oh man, do you remember the kid at Benedict, Tyler?
Yeah.
The very first kid, he played at Legacy here in Greenville,
but
and I think they said he transferred to South Carolina State and then ended up going to Benedict.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his name. When we come down Sunday, I know it. I'll have his name for you. If I showed you a photo of him, you would know exactly who the kid is. Because I want to say you said
he came here. I know I will.
And he left out. Yeah. But yeah, we've seen a lot of talent, man. I'm gonna tell you, by far, out of the 4 schools, no disrespect, the kid at Claflin is the best shooter I've seen by far. By far.
Oh yeah, Rich. I already know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now listen, whenever we play Claflin, and listen, I'm gonna tell you now, yes, most definitely. Whenever we play Claflin, the only reason Claflin stayed in the game with us is because of Rich. Rich came in one game. He didn't play. Seriously, last semester we played Claflin. He did not play the first half. We was winning. We was up by like 12 or 14 points. Rich came in the second half and hit 33.
Yeah.
He hit 6 threes back to back, no nonstop. I'm like, this boy here is ridiculous.
Yeah, he automatic bucket.
If he was about 6'2", oh my God.
Definitely.
Oh, we got Miss Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, AD, how you doing?
Hello. I apologize, everyone, for the lateness. We ended up going into basically a sudden death with Winston-Salem State University tonight for our senior night volleyball game. So I apologize for the lateness of the hour.
That's all right. We was actually we're in the middle of a little bit of fun. So I'm gonna come to
Okay.
you in just a second, Miss Johnson.
All righty.
I'm gonna
All
go
right.
ahead and circle back to Thomas. Same question. Pitch it to me. Anthony said they got the crowd, they got the noise. How we beating South Carolina State?
Man, that's about all they got.
And the players.
They don't have much else. I'm gonna tell you this.
We
One
got
thing
something
about
for
Claflin,
Rich.
you know, we got about 1,800 students here, and you're gonna get an education here at Claflin. When you leave here, you're gonna leave here with an education. And we have a lot of students that participate in internships every semester. So there's a lot of opportunities, even with our freshmen coming in, that we're going, whatever field you're going in, we can find you an internship during the summertime. We can see, we have a lot that go overseas and do internships. And our classes are small, and we like to keep our classes small. So number one, our students are learning in class. They can get that one-on-one with their instructors, and instructors get to know their students. And when you come here, you're going to get that HBCU experience. When we party, we party. South Carolina State will tell you because they're over here at our party. We just had a Halloween costume party on Monday night. There's a lot of state students over here at our parties. We got homecoming coming up. Guess who's going to be over here? State people going to be over here at our homecoming because they know we know how to party here, and we do it right. So, yeah, those South Carolina State kids want to come over here. But outside of that, no, we don't have football. But we got a good basketball team. We got good volleyball teams. All our other sports are good. Conference champs 2 years in a row softball. So we just got a new basketball coach. Our team is out there playing right now. Luckily, the referees showed up, so I didn't have to go out there and do their scrimmage. So we're looking forward to this year. But we know when students come here, they're going to leave here with an education. And 90% of them leave here with a job already in hand. And I can tell you this because our president gave us the numbers back in the end of August, is out of all the graduates from last year, we have 53 of them that have jobs that's making six figures.
Wow.
Right out of high school, right out of college.
Wow. And now, was that from any particular field? Was it, do they know the true numbers of or the hard data from what the majors were and what
he hasn't broken down? I can, if you want those numbers, I can get back to you and get those to you.
Yeah, because I mean, out of 53, that's a phenomenal number. I don't know what the graduating class looked like, but
we have roughly about 400, 450.
Oh wow. See, so that's like that information is information that needs to be shared, And
let me share this with you, because our engineering and our computer technology is awesome. We have a smart house right now that our students have put together, and it's just on the other side of the railroad tracks from our campus. We have this. It's a beautiful smart house. Whenever y'all come down next time, we'll try and schedule a visit for you to go see it. And it's basically set up to where right now they're in the process of building the robot to be able to give the house tours.
Wow.
Now, it's almost there.
And it's the students.
Yes, students are doing all this.
Oh, wow.
Yes. We got refrigerators that tells you what you can and cannot eat. How much calories you have in your food, how much you are sleeping when you're in the bed, how many times. I mean, it's a smart house. This tells you everything. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I definitely have to come down there and see that.
See, now no other HBCU can say that in South Carolina.
Oh,
you said it's right over the fence, right? Y'all right over the fence.
That other school is right across the fence.
That's all.
We love talking about each other, but we love each other. You know.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful part about this, man. For me, I enjoy talking to each one of you guys when I come on campus, but then to have these conversations like this, to where everybody's on the phone and you get a chance to, do a little bragging on your school, that makes it feel like, it's just a family reunion. And like you said, Toddy, you just got around your cousins again, for the summer. So, everybody cut up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in AD Johnson. You still with us?
I'm here.
All right, great. Well, what we were doing, we were just having a little fun. What I was telling Anthony and Thomas, and what I'm gonna have you do is, right now I'm a recruit. I want you to picture a school as to why I should attend there over South Carolina State or Clafton or any. It doesn't even have to be an HBCU. Any school. Why should I attend your school?
Oh wow, I have two words. Daphne Johnson. I am Mother Hawk. I'm Mother Hen, Mother Hubbard. I am the goat of mentoring young students, not just student athletes, all students. To be able to have these kids to come and to go into a home and visit a parent and to say, listen, when you release your child to Clinton College, you're releasing that child where I am mandated to cover them for the next 4 years. I'm not saying 6, 7, 8 years, 4 years. I'm guaranteeing that your child will graduate with a degree in 4 years. I'm guaranteeing that they're going to be safe, they're going to be covered, and they're going to grow. You're they're leaving as a boy and a girl, but when they return to you, they're going to be a man and a woman. And trust the process that this will happen for your kid under my tutelage, under my leadership, as their athletic director, as their leader, as their instructor, that they will come away with something. And as our motto at Clinton College is excellence without excuse. There's no excuse that you come into Clinton College. There's no reason that you shouldn't leave prepared to conquer. You come to discover, you leave to conquer. Join my
Ooh,
team at Clinton College. Come to
CC
the
man.
den.
Okay.
CC, you know.
Can't even unmute my thing. Say it again. I need to write that down. Tyler, you got it. I need
I'm
that to be. I need that to be the post in the morning for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and get what was
Yeah,
the
yeah. I told
what's the
her.
slogan? AD Johnson.
Say it again.
Say what was that last slogan?
Excellence without excuse. We are
Excellent.
the real CC. You know.
Hey, every time I speak to her, man, the energy is always like this, and I
Oh,
promise it's infectious. It make you just want to just
make you want to
get
run through
out.
a wall.
I
Yes,
call
come
her
on.
auntie.
Let's go.
I text the other day. I was like, "Good morning, auntie."
Good morning. Yes.
But it's
Yes.
infectious. She make you want to just get up and go do more. Go do more. Go be better than you was yesterday.
Yes. Yes, for sure. For sure. We have to become so they can become. They got to see us in they have to see us operating in the now so they can believe in the future that
Mm.
they too can become. But we want them to do better.
Man, y'all got this motivational speaker in here.
Talk the top that ain't it, Anthony?
Man, what? Yeah, that was good.
Hey, I get that every time, man. No lie, and it's genuine. That's her and her organic and her authentic self. And I be like,
Yeah.
you know, if I got to be up under AD Johnson, I feel like I can run through a wall as an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear that pep
Wow.
talk, it's like, hey, let's
Wow.
let's go
Yeah,
play.
yeah. Let's build this thing together. Let's build a championship culture. I've been here 3 months. And fundraising is key, right? The vision that we have set for this department. First, the coaches have to buy in with the AD. If you don't have coaches that's not buying in, it's going to be a challenge. Not that you can't do it, but it will be a challenge. So first and foremost, I had to start with the coaches. That's just like in church. Everybody doesn't buy into the vision of the pastor, but he or she is the leader, right? So even if you don't see the vision, and really you're not going to really see it because God didn't give it to you. God gave it to the leader. Every AD that's on this line, God gave you the vision to lead your department, your school in athletics. And so if they buy in, hey, the sky's the limit. And then now you it's not a struggle with reaching the student athletes because the coaches have bought in. But you have to build people around you. You have to surround people, you have to surround yourself with positive people, like-minded, in order to get to the chip, in order to build the program that you need to be conducive to be successful in building student athletes. Y'all got
And
quiet on me. Y'all
I
got
know,
quiet
hey,
on me.
we all just
Hey,
soaking it in.
I believe it's okay to say we all know when Mama's speaking. You know, we all gentlemen, so we get out the way and let that
Wow.
take part. But you're absolutely correct. And so, like I said, it's just been a privilege for myself to have a
Awesome.
conversation
Awesome.
with you guys, to just see what it was like on the campuses. Because who knows, how long would it had taken in order for this group of individuals to collectively get together to have these conversations about what's really important, you know, guiding the next generation um, on and off the field, but more so off the field. That's what we're concerned about. And we just want to make sure that they have the right tools. We want to make sure that they have the necessary tools to become productive and positive adults.
Right.
The 3x3 basketball, it's all fun, and it's what it's going to be. It's going to be fun. It's going to keep us bonded. But at the end of the day, those numbers that Mr. Johnson said, and 53 kids that graduated from that class is now working in X fields and they're making six figures.
Awesome.
Those are the stories that I want to be able to share to the second and third and fourth and fifth graders to get them inspired about, walking onto the HBCU campuses. I'm still a fan of all of the state schools. I love the state schools, but I just think that, when we have the opportunity to be geared and nurtured the right way, it's a lifelong lesson, man. It just gives you so much more value, so to speak. But I'm overwhelmed and overjoyed for you guys just saying yes. Like she said, everybody don't see the vision, you don't see it because he doesn't give it to you. I had to try to make all of this take place for the ones that were around me in my circle as well. Even some of the guys up at Hoop It Up, it was like, how is this going to happen? You got to travel here, you got to do this, you got to do that. How are you going to be able to take place and make it take place at different institutions? And so, again, none of that would have been possible for myself without you guys, without Tyler, without you guys responding and saying yes. And so, again, that makes me say, do more. This is only the beginning for what we're going to do together. And then again, like I said, Mr. Thomas was saying it earlier about the 5-on-5 intramural thing. I any way that I can help support it, I definitely support it. I had no idea that there was a national championship, but now that we do know, like you said, let's figure out, how to push those students in that direction because it's needed.
Absolutely. And I know we're approaching the 9 o'clock hour, so I kind of wanted to end it with one final question on a positive note. And we're gonna do it, just a round table. I'm gonna start with you, Anthony, and then go to Thomas, and then go to AD Johnson. On the HBCU campus, whether as a student or what you're doing currently in your profession, what has been your favorite moment on campus? Starting with you, Anthony.
My favorite moment.
Yeah, what's been your favorite moment? Because a lot of people they don't understand what it really is to have that HBCU experience, what it's like to be on campus. And there's some very special moments that go on that maybe anybody who go into, a PWI or anything like that may not know about the school. So we're bringing them into the culture, man. What's been your favorite culture moment on campus?
Um, for me, I'm more of a people's person. Um, I love. I'm very family oriented, and at state, that's what we are. We always. I love to see the students come together and just really have a wonderful time. Um, it's really honestly nothing in particular. It's just when I just see the students working together and and having fun and enjoying themselves because you know um, I everyone says your college years is the most the funnest times of your life and at state because I was at a JUCO college, Lewisburg College, before I came to state in undergrad, and it was totally different, and then the moments that the just interacting, just the vibe, the energy, just working together and having fun, enjoying life. Some people don't even get to live to even enjoy life at
Yeah.
all, and I feel like the most precious thing God ever gave any one of us is time, and to enjoy that time, have fun and just be able to live life without any worries, without any problems. I think in college that's what those are the times. And so
All right. Mr. Thomas, let's get with you. Same question. What's been your favorite moment thus far, I would say cultural wise?
Just you, my favorite moment here at Claflin is homecoming week. Everybody comes together homecoming week. The steps, everything from the step show uh, to the gala, which is the presidential gala. Um, and then you have these artists that come in. We had Negative Stallion come in 2 years ago. And man, when I say this place was packed and rocking, but homecoming week, because homecoming week is coming up starting on the 13th. And when I say this campus is gonna be rocking, it's gonna be rocking. And especially during lunchtime every day, they're down there by the calf. Um, and when I say seem like every student on the campus is right there and they're partying with each other. The music is going, they're dancing, they're hype, and it's just everybody comes together and loves on one another. And I didn't go to an HBCU, but seeing what I see here made me wish I would have gone to an HBCU. Um, and I'm pushing my nieces and nephews to go to an HBCU and have that experience to be around your own people and working together and enjoying life and getting education together. We're literally a big family here, and every moment is a great moment here for me. And I just wish I would have taken that opportunity and going to an HBCU.
Gotcha. AD Johnson. So the question that I asked to the two gentlemen was, what thus far on an HBCU campus, what has been your favorite moment?
Wow. I can go back to being a student at the illustrious Elizabeth City State University, that is, the Mighty Vikings. Being on the HBCU campus, it started off when I was young. My mom was a graduate of the great Florida A&M University. And from my twin sister and I growing up in the HBCU culture, it was without a shadow of a doubt that that's where we wanted to extend our education. I've had the opportunity to visit PWIs. I had an offer from Tennessee, Auburn, Rutgers, Barry University, quite a few PWIs. But I did not feel at home there. I felt like a number. When I attended and visited the HBCUs, as AD at Claflin stated, he said it just felt at home. It felt like family, and it felt like an extended family because the dorm director first off said to my mother, "Oh, she's gonna be taken care of. What's your phone number, Mama?" I was like, "Oh my God." Every Sunday morning, my mother said, make sure she goes to church. So I grew up in the church. And so I thought I was getting away from it, that I didn't have to go to church on Sunday. So she made sure that Miss Dorsey, I'll never forget her in the dorm director, every Sunday morning she would call on the intercom, "Daphne, you up? Your mama told me to make sure you get up and go to church." So I love the camaraderie of us. There are two things, you all heard me say this before, that we own outright. That is the Black church and the beloved HBCUs. It gave, I'm getting chill bumps right now. It gave me a sense of pride that I can. When the odds are against me, I can, because I can, I could, I would, and I did were standing before me and leading me to believe that I could achieve. One of my greatest moments thus far at Clinton is being able to mold these kids and prepare them for the future. I'm dealing with kids that are single parent families. I have a kid that was in my office today. She has nowhere to go for the holidays. She doesn't even know where her mom is. It's like no relationship. My biggest accomplishments is giving love to them, because a lot of them didn't receive it in the 17, 18 years of their early life. So what you're doing now, you're sending these 17-year-old, 18-year-olds to me, and they've been in environments that were not, and not all of them were in bad environments, but some, majority of our kids at Clinton, I'm speaking of Clinton, they come from hard places, rough places. And so now my job is I got 4 years to mold them, to instill in them that they can. And if I reach one, I've done my job. I want to reach all of them, but if I get that one, I've done my job. I love the atmosphere, because see, when we hear the music, it's just a tradition from the motherland, because that's where we're from. That heartbeat, that drum beat. So we can be sitting in our cars and someone else is beside us and we can be minding our business. But when we hear the beat, right, we're moving. And so we got that HBCU movement, right? I didn't feel that at the PWI when I went on the visit. I didn't get that, y'all. But I get it because it's in us. We can't help it. That's where we come from. We are people of movement, of entertainment, right? We're people of love. And when we connect that with the history at Clinton College, 1894, it was a men's school only for theology. JUCO. I met a young man tonight that he was in the gym tonight, Tyler and Ivory, and he saw the banners up there from the 1990s, and he said, I was a part of that. He said, I was on that team. He said, I remember when we didn't even have this kind of gym. We didn't have those bleachers, right? It was no women's programs there. So he literally had tears in his eyes just to see the growth. And some people might come there and say it's nothing, but it was tonight, it meant a lot to him.
because he saw growth.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the trenches. So I'm bringing him back to speak to the student athletes, right? Because one thing you don't do, you don't despise meager beginnings. We've been in the meager, but we're going major. And I'm happy to be a part of it.
Wow.
Hey, Tyler,
Yes, sir.
if it's okay, I have one of my students that was walking by. If it's okay for her to jump on and kind of share a little bit of her experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, I will.
Oh, this is great.
That's firsthand.
Yeah.
Where's the great Marilyn Suggs over at Claflin University?
And by the way, this is one of my volleyball players.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Hey,
how are
sweetheart, how
you?
you doing?
I'm good. So my name is Danelle Branch. I am a senior biology major at Claflin University, and I'm also on the women's volleyball team. So for a little bit about me, with my experiences at an HBCU, I definitely say the leading thing for me would be the sense of community. I feel like everyone strives for greatness here, and you can feel it in everyone's energy, and everyone's super supportive with everyone's accomplishments. And I feel like compared to a PWI, it would be a little bit more. It would be a little bit of a different energy there. And I feel like at HBCUs, everyone just wants everyone to do well and to succeed. And I feel like that's just something that you just can't get anywhere else. So for
Yeah.
sure.
What was your name again?
Danelle Branch.
Branch.
Yes.
Danelle, when you was on your recruiting trail, what was it about Claflin that made it realize that this was going to be the place for you?
That's a good question. I would definitely say, for me, it was definitely the coaches. The coaches were really nice, and they were just super warm and inviting. I went to many trips on my recruiting trail, and here I just kind of felt the most home. And it was also the only HBCU that I also toured as well. But I just felt really at home here. And like I said before, the environment here is just so supportive, and I felt like I can definitely grow and thrive academically and on the court here. So.
And
Awesome. Beautiful.
I got one last question for you. Different feeling wise, going to like while you was recruiting at other schools, whether it's JUCO or major university, was there like something on the inside that made you want to choose a HBCU other than other schools, where you were just like, this really feels like home, like something really feel good about this place?
I would definitely say like the history of HBCUs as well. I feel like it can get a little bit overlooked. Just knowing where our progress was, just coming from, the amount of racism and microaggressions and just like the growth of our race in this country specifically. I just feel like HBCUs historically have just been a safe place for sure. And you can just feel it. Like I said before, I don't really know what it is, but it's just like a really loving, accepting environment. Like I went to pretty much kind of like an all-white school growing up, middle school and high school. So, and on my club team for volleyball was pretty much all white. So it was just like a different energy that I've never felt before. And I'm so grateful to be able to experience that for sure.
Beautiful.
And
Awesome.
do you mind if I get your information from Thomas and later set up a one-on-one interview? Because I would love to go in a lot more depth and
Yes, of course.
feature you on the program. Yeah, that'd be great.
Of course, I would love to. Mr. Peters, I would like my information to talk more. Sounds good. I can
All
get
right.
back with you all.
Look forward to having you on one-on-one.
Okay, me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, sweetheart.
My pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So how what's the odds of being able to get this? You know what I'm saying, Tyler?
Rare.
Authentically, just being able to hear the student. We hearing it from the horse's mouth, and
Right.
I guarantee you, if we went to all 5 institutions, we get those stories.
Yeah.
But how many times have those stories fell on deaf ears?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a story that took place on campus and nobody else did anything to push that. That's the conversation that I'm interested in having and trying to figure out, what do we do next? Because it's obvious that all of these institutions are doing terrific things. But it just so happened, we got two major PWIs, sitting right down in Columbia, one down in Clemson. So, at the end of the day, the attention tends to, you know, go in other directions. But by far, man, these are stories that need and should be heard. Not just on a state level, but on a national level. Because there's so many things that these schools, I mean, I follow every institution on LinkedIn, or like I said, I'm always looking at one of the HBCU outlets, and there's always stories about Benedict Claflin, something going on at State, something going on at Allen. Like, I had no idea that the what's the auditorium on Allen's campus was named after David Chappelle's grandfather. I had no idea of that.
Wow.
And those were the little things that when I'm speaking with you guys while we're on campus and you giving us these nuggets, like you guys having a smart house at Claflin. Like, okay. And then you say the robot, to me, that's so crazy. That the state hasn't shined a light on that, because I'm quite sure there's not a smart house at USC or Clemson, or is there? But those are the things that, haven't heard of them. Yeah. But those are the things that, puzzles me. But then that's why I say, from the leadership amongst the state, not to ruffle any feathers, but just to get them to do their job and bring some attention back to the HBCUs. And I continue to say it, if the HBCUs had a fourth or a fifth of some of those big school budgets, just imagine what could be done. Just a fourth of those budgets. Just imagine what could be done. Because we all know we're going. Go ahead, Mr. Thomas.
As far as the smart house, we haven't really put it out there yet. Only because we want to make sure that everything is ready to go. Because also with the smart house, you'll be able to talk to your doctor. It's a lot. You'll be able to do your blood pressure. You'll be able to take, blood samples. If you're diabetic, you'll be able to do all that. But also something that I haven't mentioned, and I somewhat mentioned it here. Well, I won't mention. We got some great things coming up in the next few weeks. So if you're around homecoming week, come check us out, because, man, we're making some changes in here. We took out one of our visiting locker rooms, and we had an NBA player, I can't give his name right now, who donated so much money to turn it into another training room, like an aqua type training. I mean, we've got some amazing things that's happening. People are seeing what Claflin is doing. We got a president. He's young. He's 40. He's 45 years old. You think he's a student. He gets out here. He plays basketball, with the kids. He's out there hip hopping with the kids. But we got some great things that's happening here. And also remember that we are ranked number 3 in the nation, HBCUs.
Yeah. That was an article that they had. I think it was maybe CNN, CNBC or something, but I did see that article.
Yeah.
And that, that stuff there is just phenomenal, man. I mean, I love what Jackson State and everything and every other institution is doing, but man, the stories that I've heard with the HBCU campuses in South Carolina is just like, it's mind blowing that it's not heard of more. I mean, it's mind blowing. It's just like, it puzzles me why the information is not being shared, and what are the lawmakers and, the people in charge, how they earmarking dollars for the HBCUs in the state. I know they say it's public knowledge and all of that, but there's a lot of things that we just don't see. And it like you said, AD, at some point in time, we got to call a spade and just say what it is. Help us get to where we need to be. Give us the resources we've earned on a lot of these platforms, and so I salute each one of you guys, man. I'm definitely want to I'm gonna get with Tyler, Mr. Thomas, and see what his schedule looks like for this homecoming, man. We might be coming back down there on the 13th because I want to see the Smart House for one.
What?
Smart House, but also the other item that we have that's coming up. We are going to share that with all the HBCU schools, but we want to get it up and running and make sure everything is right. It's something that came across my email. I presented to my AD when he saw it. I set up a Zoom call with the company, and we ran away with it.
Awesome.
And it's going to be something that we're going to present to the president once we get it IT in here to do their thing and get it set up. But I think it's something that a lot of HBCU schools or even PWI is going to want to jump on and be a part of.
That's awesome. AD Thomas, your president spoke at Clinton a month ago. Every Wednesday we have what we call the Beacon Forum because we are a Christian college. So it's basically like chapel. And we have different speakers come in, and he had actually just flown in. I think he was in California, and his wife joined him. So he was an inspiration to the students, to the faculty and staff. We were excited to have Dr. Warmack there as the guest speaker. And I love Claflin. I love coming to Orangeburg and going to D&B restaurant. So when I was coaching women's basketball at Elizabeth City State University, and we would come play Claflin, that restaurant was one that we would definitely visit. And this is prior to your arrival. They had, I can't even think of his name right now, the older gentleman that was the AD. But Fitch, that's right. He's a graduate of the illustrious Elizabeth City State University. I had to throw that in. However, just an honor to always come and be a part of Claflin University there. My oldest sister graduated from Claflin, so we go way back. She's a 1985 graduate of Claflin. So the history at Claflin is awesome. And just being in Orangeburg. So I'm excited to hear the great news. Listen, when is your homecoming?
The week of the 13th.
The 13th of November?
Yep.
Okay.
So about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, good deal. Good deal.
2 weeks? Yeah. 3 weeks? Something like 2 weeks.
Yeah, good deal. And you have a great associate AD there, Marilyn Suggs. We served as senior woman administrators together in the CIAA. I understand that she's getting ready to retire.
Yeah, end of the year.
Yeah, we're gonna miss her. But great things that you all are doing at Claflin. I'm excited.
All right. I know we're at an hour and 8, so we're a little bit over. I just wanted to end with one last thing, Anthony, for all our viewers that's tuning in. Of course, this is the HBCU Hoop It Up Tour. Let everybody know what to expect as soon as we step on campus at SC State this Sunday.
You're gonna, like I always said, man, with state, it's exciting. So you're gonna see the crowd. You're definitely gonna see the players. I know Rich is a special player, but we got something for Rich, I promise you. It's really going to be exciting. I promise you. You're going to see a crowd that's just going. It's going to be a really, really wonderful time, man.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah,
well, guys,
I definitely want to say thank you. I know Tyler's going to say his thank yous, but again, man, if we can revisit this again here in the near future, on next time we can get Doug and Sean on, which is from Benedict and Allen. Like I said, so once we finish at state, we will all get back together so we can, give this great kickoff for the HBCU 3x3 challenge championships in March, which it will be the location, all the festivities, everything that we got planned. I want to do it collectively, not just myself and the guys from Hoop It Up rolling it out. I want to do it with the individuals that believed in me and trusted the opportunity and a small vision that I had within this huge mega company that they didn't, potentially think could actually happen. It's not done yet. I got one more week. I got Sunday to get through. But I'm gonna celebrate my own little moment. But I want to thank you guys for helping me get there, because it wasn't the easiest path. But it was necessary. I think all the no's that I heard in the beginning was a culmination of this moment right now, because I'm actually able to have a conversation with you guys, and those were the yeses. Those were the individuals that said, yeah, we believe in it. We want to be a part of it. And so I'm forever indebted to you guys for taking a chance on something like this. And the sky's the limit, man. Again, I'm only a phone call or a text away. And I know we're on live, but I want you guys to know that sincerely. If it's something that I personally can do, just call or shoot a text, man. I'll do the best of my ability to come through for you guys, because you came through for me.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Well, again, I wanted to thank everybody from coming in today. Anthony, Thomas, AD Johnson, CC, of course. We will be trying to keep this thing up as we lead up to the championships in March. So I'm sure I'll be talking to each and every one of you guys pretty soon. Thomas, I'm going to try to get your information from CC so I can speak to your student and go ahead and set that interview up with her, because I'm all about women's basketball here at Sports and Culture. So I can't wait until we do that interview. But guys, again, this has been another Sports and Culture interview with people around the HBCU realm. We have Clinton represented. Claflin just logged off, unfortunately. South Carolina State. We're going to be there live and in person on Sunday. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night.
Likewise.
Good
God
night.
bless,
Good
man.
night. Good night. Good